Welcome to Davidson Sales Company. Today we're in the panel shop and we're giving you an overview of the brand new Hotstart EVRHeat. It is this one. I've already removed the packaging material, but just show you. It comes with a bracket with hardware, installation instructions, a quick reference guide that has indications on the display, a depiction of flow through the engine, installation, and then it shows accessories, isolation valves, different port sizes, and I'll show you that, and hose. This is the heater itself. It has a cord with a 120 plug on it. For reference, this is a TPS heater. This is a real common TPS heater. The brackets are similar, oblong holes, oversized, so if you had a TPS heater, you could easily replace it with this on the same mounting hardware it's there. TPS heater, of course, has a fixed inlet that is on the back because you could turn it either direction because there's no display. The EVRHeat has a swiveling input 5/8 inch hose barb that you could mount it this way, have the display out, turn it the other way, have the hose routing this way. Of course, this is the outlet. These clips are for quick disconnect. This model has a 5/8 inch hose barb. There's also a kit to switch this to 3/4 inch hose barb. You pull the clip, switch out the fittings in both cases, and now you're ready for 3/8 inch hose. This display, even though it's dark and when it's plugged and powered up, it gives you a green power on indication on the top left. On the engine depiction, it shows heater active, meaning it's operational. On the thermostatic one here, it has 3 different color code LEDs, one for above set temperature, one at optimal temperature, and the other one below temp. Additionally, it has a fault display down here. It gives you a cautionary triangle. It says general fault. It gives you one with a depiction of the heater with an air pocket in the top if you were to have air in it. Traditionally, when you install a TPS heater, you have to burp it, meaning you have to allow the fluid to come out and go to the top of it before you connect the top line, because that element makes a loop. If you fail to do that, it burns up the element. In this case, it monitors for an air pocket and it'll shut it off. Typically, that's an installation problem. It also has a high limit fault here if it goes to high temperature. Ultimately, later today, we're going to install this on one of our backup generators, and we should see all of these lit up. I'd suggest that we can do the power on. We'll see. We haven't turned off the block heater on it now, but we may get to see a below temp, and then we can run the engine, see if we can get it go to over temp. Essentially, the block heater goes into a standby mode when it hits its thermostatic range, but it may indicate the high temperature. Additionally, we can simulate a air pocket in here just by plugging it in. We'll do that when we set it up outside. This is the 120 volt version. It's 1,650 watts. It is a 13.8 amp draw at full power. It is a much more efficient energy saving heater in so much as it is automatically adjusting in 1 degree increments, and since it has increments, and since it has a pump on it, a 3 gallon per minute pump, it's forcing the circulation, whereas a TPS heater uses thermosiphon for movement, whereas cold is replaced by hot fluid and it slowly flows through the engine. This is a 240 here. I haven't opened it up yet. We'll see what it looks like. I want to see what the plug looked like on it. It is 2,500 watts, and it draws 10.4 amps. Once again, it comes with a bracket and a lot of bubble wrap. Okay, the 240 plug has, whereas this is a traditional 120 you see in a duplex outlet, the 240 plug has 2 spade terminals turned sideways. Otherwise, it's identical. With regard to the bracket that comes with them, it allows you to mount it bracket low, the back where this would attach to the engine, frame, enclosure, whatever. It'll go bracket high if need be. And you can also use the angle to mount off of the side. If you had a right, same thing goes for a left. So ultimately you want to have the display visible, and this bracket should do that. If you have a TPS heater currently installed, this is an easy install. In the case of our generator, our TPS heater is mounted sideways with only 2 tabs, not utilizing the Hotstart bracket. So if we were to install ours, it's going to turn it sideways. So more than likely we'll do an adaptation using this. Here we are, the Davidson Sales generator. This is not meant to be an installation video. This is just to show the product. So please consult the instructions, have a qualified technician, do your installation. In this case, we have a TPS heater that appears to be mounted on an angle bracket with really large hardware. So we have an option of enlarging the hole in our bracket or mounting our bracket on the angle. We'll figure that out in a few minutes, because if we mount it sideways, it's probably not the best orientation, whereas we'd like to have it facing outward so that if somebody came and did an inspection, be it us or the quarterly maintenance, that you could see the indications on the heater if there was a problem. Right now what we'll do is we'll unplug the TPS heater that's there, and it's fully operational, and we're going to plug in the EVRHeat, and you barely see it. We have a green indication showing power on, and right now at the very bottom we're showing on the display that there's an air pocket. It shows that the heater's operational, but there's an air pocket since of course there's no coolant lines hooked up. Further, once we get it installed, we'll go ahead, purge it, check everything, and we'll see what the indications are at that time. Alright, so now we've come back after the sun has gone behind the clouds, and you can see the depiction maybe a little bit clearer. Green, power on. The lines of swirling lines convection on the engine. Pump is running. We have our amber color, means we're optimal temperature, and it's running. We just checked for leaks, we're good. What we're going to do now is we're going to start the generator, run it. When we get indication on the temperature gauge that she's up to operating temp, we're going to come back and look and see if we can actually exceed the temperature of the heater and go into the red light. That'd be normal operation. The heater would shut off, it'd cool down, it'd come back on, but we're going to give that a try and see. It was rather easy to put in. We ended up leaving the original bracket, and we just drilled holes in the bracket supplied and used it to put it on, because we really wanted to mount this way versus facing that way. Super simple, really easy. Nice product. Okay, so we ran the generator for probably 5 to 10 minutes. We now have a red indicator, meaning that it's over temp. That just means we've exceeded the optimal temperature. The heater itself is shut off and will stay off until it goes back into the demand temperature once it be optimal. Earlier in this video, since it's a new product, I may have erroneously said it is a 100-degree thermostat. I'm incorrect. This is a 110-degree thermostat, and it is plus or minus 0.9 of a degree. So essentially, whereas the old TPS heater that we had on here was on at 80, off at 100, this one is on at 109 approximately and off at 111 as far as the cycling range. We're going to wait and watch it drop out, or come back in a little while, drop out of the red, and then see if it cycles back on. But the heater's doing just like it's supposed to. We ran the generator, and
it went into the high temperature reading. It took about 30 to 45 minutes for it to cool down, for that to go off. And now, as you can see, the pump is running and it's back circulating. In the time it took to cool down, I spoke further to Hotstart, and they told me that that the wattage output varies by the controller in here. So whereas it says it's running, it's not the entire 1,650 watts of power. It scales it in regard to how much temperature it needs. So in that regard, it's a very efficient heater.
Davidson Sales Company is a distributor for Hotstart, stocking distributor. We have these in stock. Please feel free to visit our website to see our whole line of Hotstart products. Additionally, please contact us for pricing or further information.